Hi, this is Tracy, and I am your transformational coach, and I'm so glad to be here with you today and that you've joined me. What does it mean to be a transformational coach? For me, it really just means helping people shed those unwanted emotions and those mental patterns and those spiritual disconnects that are keeping you from having the greatest life ever. And I love doing that. It's very much my passion. So I'm glad that you're taking time to listen to me today, and give me a call or email me if you ever feel like you want to work with me, because I just totally want to work with you. I love doing this. But today, what I want to talk to you about is kind of continuing that conversation about source energy that we had last week. And last week we talked about some ways when you notice you're out of that connection and how to get back in. I gave you 6 tips of things that you could do. But this week I'm going to talk about how your negative emotions and how your positive emotions, so anyway, how all your emotions impact your ability to be connected to source energy and to really create a fantastic life for yourself. So remember, we all are source energy. We are that stream of energy that comes from source. Every living being has that. It creates this really yummy, multi-dimensional, multifaceted, energetic world to be in, right? Everybody was connected to their source and playing and being joyful and loving. Boy, wouldn't it be much more fun to get up in the morning? So nevertheless, the negative emotions that you have, I'm going to talk about that from the mildest irritation. So just a little disconnect and little irritation, a little discontent, all the way up to rage, panic, despair. Those are on this continuum of negative emotion. And when we are in this negative state, we are not fully aligned with that source energy in a way that we are going to manifest what we want. We're going to actually manifest more of what we don't want. So if you're looking at this on the email, there's a link below where it brings up an illustration that gives you this beautiful picture that helps with this lecture. So look at it because it really helps this concept so much more. We're going to look at those lower level emotions, and then there's this magic spot, this sweet spot called the vortex, when you can just raise those emotions up, that vibrational rate of emotions up a little bit more, where everything will change. Everything will change. Just trust me. Everything will change to be yumminess. So once you got that link pulled up, we're going to look at, and it's not on here, so this is really great to talk about it right now. Where is that shift from having these negative emotions and being weighted down into getting into that vortex where you've got some really exciting energy coming in, you're manifesting things that you want and desire, and you're feeling happy. Some of the first emotions, like one of them is just neutrality, where you have no attachment. You're like, just, yeah, whatever. Okay, it really doesn't bother me either way, shape, or form. I'm really cool, whatever happens. You guys have all been in one of those places where somebody may be upset about it, somebody may be overjoyed about it, but you're just like, whatever, it is what it is. Don't care that much. So even that can be like a beginning phase, but the real juicy ones are willingness, when you get this willingness to make some changes, the willingness to see something from somebody else's perspective, willingness to be more open and receptive, and then acceptance. Acceptance is my yummiest emotion that I love to teach about. It. That's the gateway to all the other higher level emotions. So accepting what is, it is what it is, and I'm cool with it. I may not like it, but I'm just going to get over it and I'm going to move on. And then there's forgiveness, and then we get to jump into love and joy and the unconditional love and joy and inner peace and all that stuff. So there's a few little magic emotions where you can transition and do that. So, but what happens when you're like really weighted down and you're just really telling yourself a story and other people are agreeing with you about how bad things are and blah, 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 right? Yucky stuff, right? You have to decide. So I'm going to give you a few steps. Actually 8, and I probably will run them together. But first is notice, right? If you don't notice that you're not in that vortex of manifestation, positive things, like, what good is it? Even today for me, I was just like working at some things, and I noticed that I was furrowing my brow. Okay, when I'm furrowing my brow, I know something's going on in my mind, and I am outside the vortex. So what do? I check in. oh, I'm outside the vortex. This isn't where I want to be. This isn't much fun. So second step, make a conscious choice to move. Make a conscious choice to move out of that. The third step is decide how are you going to move out of that. And a lot of times it's about changing that emotion. So I want you to make a list of at least 10 things that make you feel happy, that make you feel joyful. If it's just a quick tossing the ball with a dog, or doing a puzzle with the kids, or listening to some great music, taking a bath, climb a tree, skip down the road, do something, to be fun and playful and to shift that energy. And keep that list with yourself and add to it, because that's your reference point, right? The next thing, right, once you decide you want to shift, you pick a thing on the list and you do it. And you just change those emotions. You shift gears, right? Just kind of, just make that little adjustment. The sixth thing is that once you get there, really start loving yourself and talking positively to yourself and just say, oh, yeah, this feels really good. I want to do more of this. This is fun. I'm happy. I can think of all kinds of positive things when I'm here. I can see my life more joyful and exciting. So really do some positive self-talk at that point. And then number 7, stay there, right? Stay there as long as you can and don't slip back into those negative stories. Just stay there as long as you can where it just feels yummy and delicious. And then 8, repeat as often as necessary. Okay? And that's it for today, you guys. Source out. I love you. Let me hear from you and have a great one. Bye-bye.